Okay, we got one hell of a thump going on in our Bosch nexxt 800 series dryer. Have a listen. I'm going to take it apart and document what the issue is. I'm just going to kind of walk you around now that I've taken the back cover off. The only kind of tricky part was having to pull the wire harness through the hole. There are screws up and down both sides. You just got a stack of screws you got to go through. Then obviously what's going to happen next is I'm going to take off the bearing. It's just a clip that you pull off, and then the 4 bolts, and then the side piece we just lift up. So I'm going to have to put something under the barrel to make sure, or the drum, to make sure that it doesn't fall. But otherwise, that's what it looks like so far at this stage. I took off the front door and the front plastic pieces, and the top I didn't include I didn't disconnect the wires just because I can lean it on the top. The less things we take apart, the better, from my perspective. All right, so the drum came out. In a second, I'll tear the drum over. I'll turn the drum over and show you the damaged piece of it. It's really going to blow your mind. To get the drum out, I want you to notice, see that rim on the front, and then there's 2 wheels on the bottom. Those wheels and that rim, there's a space between, and the drum just pushes over top of the lip and on top of those wheels. Now, before I took the drum out, right here, I just loosened the spring so that loosened up so that it took all the tension off the drum and off the drum, what do you call it? The ribbon around the drum. So then to take the drum out, I just pulled it straight back out of the back. And here it is. Let's have a look at the drum. So it's good on this side where the bearing is. The bearing was just fine. However, this is the part that'll blow your mind. Over the years of use, the way that this drum is set, it has this lip. This sits inside on that front ledge. I don't even know what you would call it. And over time, probably from heavy use, heavy loads, it started to bounce. And this drum is made out of some kind of thin steel, and it just got brittle and it snapped. So I had to order a brand new drum, and it's on its way. And in the next part of the video, I'll show you the new drum, and I'll put this thing back together. Right, we got the barrel. It came in the mail, and I actually ordered this from a guy on Amazon, so it's used, but I went around the rim. It's perfect. And now let's get it back inside the body. So how we're going to do this is we're going to first lay it down on its face. And the reason why is when this comes off, the back comes off, this barrel, the drum sits on that lip. So it'll be easier to get it between the lip and the wheel if I have the face laying down forward. That way I don't stress it and have to hold it up. You'll see what I mean here in a minute. Okay, what we're going to do now is I'm going to pick it up, and then I'm going to set it straight down so that it aligns properly inside the wheels and I don't put any pressure in the wrong place. And I can also put the strap or the band around it, and then I can put tension back on the tension spring. Okay, it just settled right down in perfectly. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the band on it, which is a lot easier going this way. And then the next thing is I'll be able to put this and the bearing back in and kind of hook that in. But instead, I want to just make sure that I get the band on the right way, and I double check the wheels so that they're fitting. That wheel looks good. So doesn't that one. So I'm going to go ahead and reach in there and put the band on and the tension spring. Okay, I put the bearing back in. It was just the 4 screws, and then I slid the clip back on. And then this belt went right back on. And then I used a pair of pliers and I pulled the spring down. And the tape trick worked really well. When I taped this in the spot that it was in, and then I could hand turn it to make sure everything aligned properly. So now I'm going to sit it back up on its stand. I'm going to put the back on it, put the pieces back together, and then give it a test run. All right, here's the last big test. We got the dryer back together, and I actually had a big fail, and you're going to really appreciate this if it happens to you. But first, I'll show you. Sounds wonderful. She's spinning perfectly, nice and quiet. So now let me tell you about what the big malfunction was. On the bottom of the tension spring, you'll see 2 little springs and 2 little black buttons. And when I first put it back together, apparently one of those buttons, it's a switch, and it needed to be reset. So when I first went to go turn it back on, what I got was lights on the dryer right here, but it just went click. So it took me about 20 minutes to figure it out. I took the back off, and then the spring right under the pulley, I just clicked it. You could feel it switch, and that was it. That's all it took. It's a reset of some sort. So that's it. That's how you fix your Bosch dryer nexxt 800 series. Take the drum off, put a new drum on, and get it right back into service. Hope you appreciated this, and hope this was helpful for you. Give me a like, thumbs up, share it with somebody you know that's struggling to fix their dryer. And I hope I saved you a couple $100, if not more, and hours of aggravation. Over now.